Picture a single crop, buried in the dirt, no gold, no armies, no kings attached to it. Now imagine that humble plant quietly feeding millions, reshaping diets, exploding populations, fueling factories, and helping empires rise. The potato didn't just fill stomachs, it rewired history. From remote Andean fields to the heart of European power. This overlooked food became the engine behind urban growth, military strength, and global domination. Empires weren't built on swords alone, they were built on calories. And the potato delivered them. From fields to empires, how the potato changed everything for most of human history. Power was decided by land, labor, and food. Not gold, not weapons. Food. And among all the crops that shaped civilization, none worked more quietly or more powerfully than the potato. This is the story of how a plain, dirt-covered tuber helped to reshape the world, fuel population explosions, transform economies, and quietly build empires. 1. A crop born in the mountains. The potato's journey begins over 7,000 years ago in the Andes Mountains of South America. Indigenous civilizations like the Inca domesticated it in some of the harshest farming conditions on Earth. Thin air, rocky soil, freezing nights, yet the potato thrived. Why? Because it was resilient. Potatoes could grow where wheat failed. They matured quickly. They were nutritious, rich in calories, vitamin C, and potassium. Most importantly, they could be stored underground, protected from theft and weather. For the Inca, the potato wasn't just food, it was survival. They even invented freeze-drying techniques to preserve potatoes for years. Long before modern science, the potato was already powering an empire. 2. Europe discovers the potato when Spanish explorers arrived in South America in the 1500s. They were obsessed with gold, but they carried something far more valuable back to Europe. The potato. At first, Europeans distrusted it. It wasn't mentioned in the Bible. It grew underground. Some believed it caused disease. For decades, potatoes were treated as animal feed or decorative plants. But hunger changes opinions. Repeated crop failures and famines forced European peasants to experiment. Slowly, they realized the truth. Potatoes produced more food per acre than any grain. 1 acre of potatoes could feed a family. 1 acre of wheat often couldn't. That realization changed everything. 3. The population explosion. Once potatoes spread across Europe, something unprecedented happened. Population exploded. Between 1700 and 1900, Europe's population more than doubled. This wasn't coincidence. The potato delivered cheap, reliable calories to the poorest people. Children survived. Workers were stronger. Cities grew. Suddenly, nations had surplus labor, and surplus labor builds factories. The Industrial Revolution didn't start with steam engines, it started with full stomachs. 4. Potatoes empower empires don't just need soldiers. They need fed soldiers. Potatoes were easy to grow, easy to transport, and kept armies alive. Countries that adopted the potato gained a strategic advantage. Prussia's king, Frederick the Great, famously ordered peasants to grow potato sivan, stationing guards to make them seem valuable. France promoted potatoes to prevent famine. Russia followed. The result? Larger armies, stronger states, more control. Food security became national security. 5. The dark side. When dependence turns deadly, but reliance on a single crop comes with risk. In the 1840s, a fungal disease, potato blight, swept through Europe. Nowhere was the damage worse than Ireland. The Irish depended almost entirely on potatoes to survive. When the crop failed, food vanished overnight. Over 1 million people died. Another million emigrated. This wasn't just a natural disaster, it was a political failure. Food was exported while people starved. The famine reshaped Ireland forever and fueled migration to America. The same crop that built populations now destroyed one. 6. Fueling global expansion as Europeans colonized the world. They brought potatoes with them. From Asia to Africa, the potato adapted quickly. It fed miners, plantation workers, and settlers. It supported railroads, armies, and expanding cities. In many regions, potatoes reduced famine and stabilized food supplies. Quietly, invisibly, the potato followed empire wherever it went. 7. Why the potato matters more than we think. History often celebrates generals, kings, and inventors. But behind every empire is a calorie source. Without the potato, Europe's population boom stalls, industrialization slows, armies shrink, colonization weakens. The modern world looks very different. Empires weren't built only by ambition, were built by agriculture, and the potato was one of the most powerful tools ever planted. 8. The real lesson: the potato teaches us something uncomfortable. Power doesn't always come from what looks powerful. Sometimes it comes from what feeds the most people, the cheapest, the fastest. In today's world, energy, food, and supply chains play the same role. Control the basics and you shape history. Closing from remote Indian fields to the heart of global empires, the potato changed everything without ever asking for credit. No crowns, no flags. Just roots in the soil and a world built on top of them.